Red dust on my sandals, still I walk in grace. Face to the sunrise, tears drying on my face. Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from the ground again. Dancing through damage.
Welcome, viewers, to another episode of Beautiful Ashes with Auntie Mercy. Today we have other guests that are going to speak to you concerning their battle with alcohol. Alcohol abuse is rampant in our nation, and we're seeing it amongst the old, the young, and everyone alike. Therefore, we want to address this issue and to see that you can overcome this vice. Just hold on and wait until we come back after the break. Welcome back. We are here with two guests. I have with me Pastor James Mwatula and Auntie Charity Kapia. Welcome to this program.
Thank you so much, woman of God. It's a privilege to be here, and welcome, viewers.
Ba Charity Mwaisen Mkwai.
Mkwai twatasha sana kutuita kuli programu hii.
Mkwai. Twalatampilila naimwe ba Charity. Ngakuti tweba kofie, just tell us a bit about yourself. Nimwe bani finish mututa Mkwai.
Ishinala nileo Charity Kapia. Nakwata abana babiri. Ndashitako ka business kakubeginga kwa masamusa mapai. Mkwai.
And Pastor James, just give us a brief background about yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is James Mwatula. Second born in the family of 8. Based in Lusaka. I'm a pastor at the Holy Ghost Arena, which has been led by Bishop Lizzie Mzambalika, the founder of Family Liberty. And currently, I'm running my own business. I'm running an institution called Elohim Electronics and Accessories, which deals with branding, printing, and any accessories to do with phones.
Wonderful, lovely.
Thank you.
Banti Charity, ndelombo kweba ati mwinga tulondolwelako mukwai journey yenu mu life yenu fo mwapitiremo ife mwachitire struggle nafyo ukweba ati abantu abale kutika bengafuirishiwako mukwai.
Mkwai ine life yandi pakutendeka yali fe bwino mkwai na kupona ali ukwire fe bwino nomba life yaisa mukosa pantu ama groups rabe ntwale ishabala ndi wale kwata kwa kabwaro baleno ineni shishiramba nokuno mukwa firo mfika bwino atwambo kuno wako ifo twamala tunga twambo kushitengananwa na sansa mugana takasha fofya nda sansa muzi na fyaingira nomba nambo kushitana neka nangutapali abanandi nafisa firafini ndenu abarume bandi bambo kuishi bati oleno obwalo ayi nambo kukora ati ayero chabana wesi
bena balume benu tabalenwa
bena tabalenwa nga balenwa munshitamwe nga bali ofufirya ero bano wako benu
mkwai
nomba baisama kusanga amadezi nga bakomboka basanga natukoro chabana wesi nomba umunani nga bampere ya munani iya refula ya bwaro munana nashito tunkumba ngana tukutaulo tunkumba abamba kupapa dei tureri enkumba chirishani paropanganda nanguto tunkolongolo tulo twako emito twachipire ko tulya so that mishare iya bwaro so basika bana kawe yakunwine mushiteko munani ulondolo sometimes munani walere tabeni
batamba nokwakanya bere ya bwalwa
mkwai ne ya munani so that waliye ko fyarondolo so fira nga bashito munani weka nitawashirire mpia narefo kwa kusuna ko munani nashitisha kuna kuneba ka half so that inwefe so na addicted no bwalo no waingiro bwalo
mwale umfashani nga chakweba ati tamunwine firya
mama uchula ngata unuine mofikula bo kututuma ndecha kufala kutuwashitisha unwe mofi bwalo bingire ko fe mumulopa
bushe bwalo anshimwalenwa ni ubwine fyo bwalo ndolokana
bwalo tunale amba kuma face bwalo nalenwa maragazi nutuma siders waingira nambo kunwa ama spirit ama spirit fila ngata ukwete nomba twaingira muri shake twafe chibebebe twaisa naisa ingira nomba na muri kachasu nafwa kafila umulandi kudonsa so ngore pepole funisha mumuna na sambira fyonse nombero naisa afe nomba useless mkwai
uchemo aleya na mumabafire nangu mwale nwina fe panganda
akuli tetunune na panganda nga wa addicted kubakula kulinga panganda wala kupera kunina ndaukwete kulia kubanga wasunga poya kamo kakachasu ntinshida panomba to aliamba kachasu nga washitaka lake no wabika pamunobe bambo kushita kufuma bomu fyaka chasu nishaponomba to alileka no kusamba nomba kuchirira fe mmabo walo
so kuti mwalando kwebati imwe chikuru chalipo chakwebati abantu mwalesangwa nabo tekwebati naimo mwalepita mu mafia nango mwali mu depression ni company fye yakwebati abanene obo mwasangwa nabwe cha mitwele mukulano bwalo omusango oyo
obufi bubi mwandi nishapitiremo na mu depression ni group failure in temo nasambirwa naleka fe bwino sana but mko yentanshi muwala winenganda ndi alisaona ikabana kabarume bani efune fipo fyashirepo nokupona sharafinika bapongoshi bandi bampoka kona abana tauti tasunge abano kaina lisa afe useless nafe chibebe ku uruchero 04 ntiye paku ya mukulala naresenda kateka okumito ni mbika
kateka weka
kachasu na faka nangu ibiri fyafina ngani kakoti packet abantu bare mpira babomboka sino ama packet ya faka achikuletera Malisha ngoleo na kama group ya lapera file kwa teku ba wino kashikale kona so nalela na fyo kumtu 04 ngana santa mkakwa na ikata kumito obo aloko buri na nwamo sip ndefu ati ifike 6 mfumi no mande
nomba pwelio chupo chapwire busheta mwai ruiko kwebati fifintu epo ne chupo chapwa file ntwala kububi ganje she ukufwayo bwafwirishe takwalina ngukulupwa abakwe bati abale tila bamyafwirisheko muri ubu bwafya
uwaronga nabufika ku blender kwa kumfa advise wafe kulanda twale mposa finish walelanda kaishi nafika pa balume bale kuleka lena bata ende alibenchito na ine ni life yanga emko itakuba kufa uwaronga nabwikata blend kaifi onse fira munaka fe bwino paranga taunile mutaufa abantu tetumona ninango so ngolefa kumona ule muntu lefa ka festival wanu ero nomba waisa nachumfa mule mfa sometimes abantu bakufundirako kwati kuli naba kuchechi bali na kilemu kuya kuma overnight ngani Friday mkese ko overnight tukesa nindo ngafaka nombalo ngabapricha kufira nakule akulinano na pipa nafaka na ikala pale nokutarika sana emkwaye
nombeli echupo chapwire mwale ikala shani bushe pantu obviously kwali kwe batabalume benwe bale ebale mipere ndalama ebale misunga ubwika shinomba bwaishire bashani pantu nomba echupo na chipwa nabakumyafwirisha mwaikere shani
na shire wekera kuba fyashi emkwaye nombera fyashi bashire nomba mano fire fya ko ati hapo kuchita kupano no kwaterebwera kufira kaira abo areshindira munabera bafu enshita ine nashire kumanya nomba na Bishop Liz
emkwaye
na yena nafumira fe munkuno mkwaye fulana iroka kwati ndire safemwe kuya ponena fe pageti ya Bishop Liz ni shabe shono ko beshi na bena tabanjishi ari batipansa para papo no mundu fo baishire njimi banjingisha mpo barikara nishwachiro barikara kaunda square
emkwaye
fira fino mampera kwati saingira mbafu mnasamba not wakufara bampera mkwaye nefi yakuli abantu nati mpere kone yafwa ifina na mkola mrefa na fimbi ate fwa tumira umuntu anshitira paketi yafwaka bampera katwishingani alishinga ilia vanongera kone fya kuli mara lunch box nate mwana pitana ku market na shitisha na test ate ini na shitisha nefi yakuli na shitano tuwaro notufaka fara bampere na shitisha kwa kashana kai bampere tusumu na senda pafika sketi kama kepi natika kuingirira mko kupita kawa maka emkwaye
so mwale yana mma night club ka
kuingira ngachirano mwabona kwa fito tumababa isara tunono kuya mu night club kayo kuchesha emkwaye
iryo na umfwire eri ashirienu uko nami mwene uko nami kumenye na umfwire mwalilandire pokwe bati mwalifwisha po mwana ine
dintula leno sana pale nifumuna leno nalyo leba yabukire kumaba abana ufo ini leba kaina alikuwa tepoka leba bibiri
emkwaye
na kungana shinalilongera limune mwini nakachola ngayabuka leba kuimyafi funa hiyo wafyashi na taa ine taulele pafita ukwero lefta ukolero yona taa shikorero sende muntu kati afuna kuitena ka bebi na alesenda tuteka ofyofya para chiru saka kumitwe nimbi katika endelero mwana nomba aisafika kopa 3 months data ifoto amana kwa takula kairuwaro
emkwaye
fona ine la kunganda yakachasa na akolo na isa ili kinalela la panshu mwana pa bedi nomba yo dena alikole careless fona fikire fina pa mwana kashini mwikaka pa mwana no mfana ko nomba kuli aba fyashi babuka mwana uli alalile utalile tendi mune nyina lakolo funa mwefa abantu wale nguma ndesa mkubuka na uipa yo mwana mamona wantore na twamtore pa Chelsea na tauka vyeni pa polisi mwana nafa kalo
emkwaye
funa ipe no mwana mwe wantu wakwale
nomba palili anshita mwaumfwire shani pantu yani Islam kolwa amano tamuli
na alisalola depression na leka fe munganda so nangu pakulia filia bali kile no kunkalipira kai bali kalipira no pa ya mwana sunshine so amona ta we depression yala mwipa fambi kwala isaba kunkoselesha awe
emkwaye
vizapite lekachabe muwaona muwava mwa kuchita wakuishe chupo wakusendera n'umwana w'uwaro kali isaba pusana na manona aisamba kuisa kupano kawaro bali mpishe mufingi mwande
emkwaye
nomba lintu ba Bishop Liz baishire nsenda kuli yabu hamba kupita mu counseling filia ma teachings filana pala kwati ndeo amano yambo okuisa chaisamba kungali panombe funa ruso bwingi
Emkwai.
chambo kupisha so kwa counseling wale tukoseresha tawo wengi wale kafefi fyonse fika chitashani fika bafe bwino efo chaisha isa through kupepa kulako ni twale pepa no kupepa twale kwata kupepa uruchere pa 05 emkwai le sarafa
Emkwai.
efo aishilenga fale samana hiyo batizona if inakairi shari kala shari pishapo one day nonwa so na shire muno kuisa ikala 1 week ne mwesa 1 week na muna yankulira futi ngano futi yambo kuisa mwefa naambiro kuika 1 month 2 months na isa ikala na 4 months kulia bishop bibiri zibebere awo yako safu afumi 4 months yana ikere kulia na isa afuma kunsa na ikala na wika pona na 5 months yakumanya shani 9 kafoni ko kaisa kwa kumtendere kere sawishe naya muri fanta ine tavano waleso ani fanta rafini futi anjita again na isanya ka tuba side tutatukula twafe kwati ndingi mwamuna chiboko aishilengirira nano kaleka side kale na wekera nomba kuya kungana na ashita chi black label chikuroti black label yali chinda na imbi black label na pa market vaisha watumina wa evangelist brand mira bantu ino na wakulu back kulia bunalifo kutali katetinjika kuno futi ama mansa ingina alaleka nemwine kunsi bebere yao mwaleka la 2 months ataka 2 months na ikala 2 months kwakune kulia bukwada wale tapa offense abarumendo ifina kawa botolo kawa natumuli bwanja bwino bwanja tiborani hapa nishindimu gate kai bali tukomena Mfano aishire beta nati muze sana tukomera muntu mungazinde terako mu drama nzamu kupasana kai nali ko tempia mu phone ne phone tawambokere bantu nalikere ko kali ore data phone tawamboke mwe kwataka communication ola senda namba bada balumenga na beta bale tobona bapisha pa office nambo kuno geni kule kwini but nuko wala kuingirira pesa wafurungana unoto ali koma wonse ai rwalo ngwalirekerepo waisamba bula rwalika Ona ishire ruko kulwala fimbi bantu ala pa Cheston wambwesha asai 01 mamakana hapo kwa tunalafu okufofili fona ishire ingira mu toilet atumwelesa na papata mpeniko chance na imbi shaka nweko lesefa abo mukuru nakota na makana papa uko yafuma maka chindikula kuina kulia abu unashiranda nakwata na umwenso nafira na yukusha fira chirafu okufa natile saini chance ya mpera mopona ishepe pa mtoilet munia nderanda napali inunshita shakumiyeko kulibwalo na kulifu akashikumbwawe olo wana ndekala nawe leno nomuntu so alata nipase ngo nteni kwacha ndipengulika moni njenje na isa yukusha nato na leno ale tumecha chino nampera teni kwacha kagule ila ishikumba no kumba pa this time
so Michael Einstein imyaka inga kushe myaka nangu mamanzi
lukwabulo kuno
mwalekele mkwai
maezi lero tepa wanu lero ningonya 4 years no faka no ichinshi 1 May so lero ni 4 years in celebration
wale saluma nishiwe ni celebration we've heard the story of our beloved Auntie Charity, and now I'll ask Pastor James, please tell us your story.
Yeah, thank you so much. So my story in addiction of alcohol started in primary school, junior primary school. I think I was in grade 8. But before that, I think I first tested alcohol in 2000 when there was a celebration for New Year's Eve where we used to stay in Chilanga. So I grew up in a setup whereby I had one friend who was close to me. Then the rest were elders. I would escort them to the bars. They would send me to go and buy beers for them. So one day they actually advised that no, today it's New Year's Eve. So even if you drink, there is no harm. So that was my first sip. I sipped, I think that was Chivuku, the brown beer, the Apache beer. That was the beer which I took. And some of the elders that day, they realized that this person is not the way he is all the time. And I had a very terrible headache, vomiting, until I went back in the morning. Mom gave me some water to bath, but still I felt like I had malaria that time. So from that time, I think I stayed for a number of years without drinking. But I would escort those elders to the bars. They would take me, and my parents, like my mother, because they were neighbors and they trusted them, that they are always found with me. So they had no problem when those elderly men came to say, we want James, we are going somewhere. They would take me to places, bring me all the way to Mandayo. By then, Mandayo was new. So I was very happy, and I was very intelligent. So they liked my intelligence. So they would move with me everywhere. And at that early young age, that's how I even know. I even learned how to approach women.
Wow.
Because there were those people they will give me a woman keys, take her to that house.
Oh my God.
So that they are not seen taking that woman. So I learned all those things from them. Yeah, but I think in 2005, when my biological mother left us, she left us to be with the Lord, then my father decided that we changed the environment. So after changing the environment, we came to the other place. We started staying in Ngombe compound. And there in Ngombe compound, that's when I discovered some people who were doing some music, because I was growing up in a house of a preacher man. My father was an elder and still an elder in the church. So they would teach us how to sing. So from childhood, I was singing. So I was very passionate about music. And when I discovered that someone introduced me to the studio, then I said, studio, I just see these things on TV. Let me go there and learn something. So we went to the studio, we did a song, and I think people were very amazed that, this is a hit song. So I got so interested in music all the time. I spent my time in the studio, but I would meet different kind of people in that studio, smoking, drinking, vulgar language, all sorts of things. So I was learning all those things from there. Then in grade 8, I stopped doing music with my friend. I went solo. I started writing my own music, and I met this producer who liked me, so he would produce me. But when he was producing songs, he would buy some beers. So when I take a little bit, I would feel motivated and I would sing. So that's how it started. Going to school. Before going to school, I passed through the studio, I drink. I was going in class. I'm a bit drunk, but people could not recognize it because I was hiding. I was making sure that my parents at home, my sisters, they don't discover that. But a time came when these times of Christmas Eve, where we would start moving in the compounds, would drink, and at home they would see that this person took, but they would just take it. No, it was just for Christmas, but without knowing that it's hitting me. So all the way to high school, that's where now we started drinking heavily. When I went to Munari Boys Secondary School, we started buying those Tuma sachets of Tujirijiri, drinking. People are in classes, we are at the ground drinking. And by the grace of God, I went all the way to tertiary education at Zamim, where I obtained my diploma in clearing, forwarding, and shipping management. But still that side, I was drinking. Now, because of this intelligence, even if you take me in class today, then you say that in 2 months' time they're writing exam, I would still be somewhere. Because the first semester I went to Zamim when they had already covered 3 months. So I joined. My father said, no, you can't write exams because you are just 3 months old. I insisted that I want to write, and of which I passed. Then second semester. So after that, and I had a job. Someone offered me an opportunity to in the field of customs at International Airport there. So at International Airport there, then I said, oh, wow. now I'm independent. And the boss gave me a house in Charleston. He gave me a room there. I said, oh, well, I'm independent. He gave me a motorbike, promised me that when you are 3 months old, I'll even give you a car. So I said, okay, I've reached now. No one to monitor me, and I can do anything I want. So I started drinking. Whenever I get paid, I would go in the compound, drink, mess up my life, women. But some people would not discover that I was doing that because I was very much committed to church. Because of the roles I was doing in church in terms of music.
So you were still serving in the church, but drinking?
Yes.
Would you drink before going to church?
Yeah, I've done that a number of times. Even on Sundays, I would pass through the bar, drink, and I would have the timing in such a way that I know that 9:30 it's praise and worship. So I'll stand somewhere hiding. When I just hear instruments playing, I'll walk straight to the podium there, to the altar, to go and lead. Immediately, people, they're just singing worship, I will leave. They will not know that I'm drunk. But there are some people who would notice that this behavior has changed.
Yes.
And I remember in that church where we used to be, we formed a group. Now we started drinking as within the church as praise teams, choir. We started drinking, and I think it led us to a number of consequences. I was suspended a number of times in church. Then after the suspension, there's this pastor who discovered, Pastor Chris from Redeemed Christian Church of God. He discovered the talent in me, and they needed someone to help them with music. So one day he met me going to church. He said, today you are not going that side, you are going to our church. We went to that church. I taught the praise and worship, taught the instrumentalists how to do the music. Then I found myself that I've even joined Redeemed Christian Church of God. Again, the same behavior went in that church, humanizing, drinking, recruiting women, taking them to nightclubs from within the church.
Oh my God, you were a terror.
Yeah. So after the pastor again noticed that there's something wrong, because that time I had a scandal of multiple girlfriends in the praise team. So they started quarreling within themselves, and the pastor said, no, I cannot condone this nonsense in this church. Again, the suspension came. Then he started mentoring me, counseling, so that I don't go back. After some time, I started singing again. But when it got worse to a point whereby I stopped going to church, missing rehearsals. Then I remember one time in 2013, I lost my cousin, and they informed me that we have a funeral. I went to that funeral. At that funeral, that's where now I found that the fridge is stocked with different beverages and alcohol. So I was put in charge to look that you make sure that this beer is being controlled. So I was controlling that beer. Whenever the fridge is half, they would send us to go and buy and stop it again at the funeral house. So the funeral passed. Instead of going back to work, I said, how can I leave this fridge like this? No one. If I leave this fridge, I will find it's finished. So I made sure that I finished the beers, and I realized that 6 days I've missed work. So because of shame and guilty, I abandoned work without being chased by anyone at my work premises. They just stopped. Then I entered society. The church took me back again. I started the thing. They appointed me as a music director. Now, after I see that there's too much condemnation, and because of the shame of what I was doing, I stopped going to church.
But were people, you're talking about condemnation, were people approaching you and telling you to your face, or you would just notice in their looks, or something? What was it exactly?
Some people would approach me and face me, telling it to me that, what you are doing is very wrong. especially this thing, you like raising hands up, the same hands you are raising up to God, they are the same hand holding beers and women. One day your hands will be forever like that. So, so I would say, these people. So I just decided that let me quit.
But was your family aware by then that you had a drinking problem?
Yeah, my family, they were very much aware. They noticed it. They learned about it because now I stopped hiding. I was going home drunk, sometimes where we used to sit together eating as a family. I would miss meals. Maybe I would go home 23 hours when everyone is sleeping, knocking at the window for my brother to open for me. So they noticed, and my father tried very hard to make sure that I come back to normal because he believes in me so much. So he tried all his level best. But unfortunately, I went deep in such a way that I became a junkie. And at one point, I left a church, which is because of the setup and the kind of the communities in Ngombe, the way it is. The church is opposite a bar. They are facing each other. The doors are facing each other. It's just a road which separates them. So I came from church, joined the bar. From a music director in the church, I became a DJ now in the bar.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
And that bar was not pretty much known, but because of my creativity, brought some instruments there, making sure that the bar was known in the entire compound. And I was known in the entire compound. I became a nuisance. People who believed in me stopped looking at me the way I was. And at that time, people would condemn you so much. So I thought church people, they are not good, but here, Kuba, that's where they embrace me. So I would go Kuba and do everything. So from there, I was introduced to another team in Kaunda Square because of the music. I used to produce some music now by then. So after being introduced to the team in Kaunda Square, we started drinking from Kaunda Square. I went to buy a keyboard on a certain day. Then that keyboard, I passed through a bar with a keyboard. Then I started drinking. Then one lady asked me to say that, do you play this? I said, yes, I do. We need someone to play it at our church. And I can give you some good offers. Then I say, no, I don't work with churches. I can't manage to work with churches, not anymore. So that lady said, okay, since you say you can't work with churches, play for us right here in the bars. So they disconnected the music, then they connected my keyboard. So we were 4 of us. Then I started singing because I didn't know much secular songs. So I started playing gospel music in the bars. And this lady, she was like, hey, this person, what's happening? Then the atmosphere even changed. People started drinking and worshiping in the bar.
There was a revival in the bar.
Yes. So people now say, others would no, you are ruining our moods. Please stop that. So we were given a lot of beers and money on that day. So on a Sunday, it was a Saturday, on a Sunday, in the morning, we had very terrible hangover. We said, let's go and do the same. Because people, they love us in the bars. We went in the same bar. We played. They gave us some beer. We sort of stopped buying. We went in the next bar. And now we were just coming in the bars in the morning. They don't play music. Say, since this is just a small volume, let's play. We'll start playing, buying us beers. So one of our friends called us in Kaunda Square Stage to come to Kaunda Square Stage 2. So we went to Kaunda Square Stage 2, where now we met this friend. And we started drinking in his bar. So we didn't eat. Around 13 p.m., 14 hours there, we were told that, no, guys, let's go home. We eat something. So on our way going home, that's when now I was invited again in a church because they saw us carrying a keyboard. So they invited us in. Now I was putting on tropicals, ripped jeans, very dirty smelling beer because we could not choose what to drink. We were just drinking anything which is available. So then my friend said, let's go play in the church. Then I said, no. Because I looked at this girl, then I looked myself, I was shy. Then I said, no. For me, no. Then this girl now followed me and she spoke to me. So without her knowing, I did not actually enter the church because I wanted to. I felt for that lady. Then I said an opportunity to propose a woman from the church. That's how I went inside the church. Then I found that there was no keyboardist. That's how now they gave me the opportunity. I'm drunk, no problem, you can play. So to my surprise, when playing, I led the song. So the church was seated now, everyone was standing, they started worshiping. So I saw this man walked in, and this woman, Bishop Lizzie and Evangelist Branch Shimba. That's when they walked in, they introduced Evangelist Branch Shimba. Then he shared his testimony. I said, oh, wow. And I looked at my life and said, if this man has done all these terrible things, then I still have a chance to change. That's how I rededicated my life to Christ. They prayed for me. And by the grace of God, amongst all the people, Evangelist was got my number. He started calling me every week, meeting. Then that's how Bishop Lizzie rented a house for us, and we started staying with the Evangelist Branch Shimba. I would trouble him, I would drink, even
Still go back. You struggle. You were struggling.
I remember a time even when Bishop was so upset that no, this is too much. I went back home, my father got me. Then again home, I started drinking heavily. You know, I would now even look for funerals so that I just spent a night outside and drink the beer. I remember one time visiting a funeral where I was given 3 free beers. So that beer, where I sat, it was for people who also use drugs. So they mixed the beer with drugs. And I have never taken drugs before. So when I took that beer, I was surprised within 10 minutes. My body was tired, failing to walk. So those people, my friends said that, let's take him home before it's too late. So as they were taking me home, I passed out. Then they lifted me and they even thought like, this person is dead. So now they said, if we know, we'll be held accountable for his death. So what we can do is just let's throw him inside. So by then there were some flowers and they were very tall. So my father was inside sleeping with other family members. They just had some people counting outside. 1, 2, 3. They were swinging me now. 1, 2, 3. So he just had something has fallen inside. Then he went outside. He found that it was me. Unconscious. That's how he took me inside. I don't know even what was happening. I was, by the time I was waking up, I just found some people gathered, people talking. I even don't know, friends coming to find out if I've died. So what is happening? I was just, my father just shouting, you were dead. Yeah, what? So I said, oh, okay. And this continued in such a way when I drink too much, you know, learned how to insult. I would just be insulting someone. At a point, even when I just found these 2 guys, he bumped into me. Then I looked at him, he started insulting, apologized. But I never heard that apology until the guy was also tired with my insults. Then he told the friend, I know I'm going to teach him a lesson. So me, I was feeling that I had so much power. That guy grabbed a bottle from me, hit me with a bottle. These are the scars here now, even here. So again, passed out. I was trying to crawl to go home. On the way I passed out, one of the neighbors again went home. I think your son is dead this side because my shirt was stained with blood. Again, my father picked me. That's when I said, I think I have to change the environment. They took me to Soroweza again. To Soroweza, introduced the same behavior, started drinking, deported back to Lusaka because of, again, my father sent me back, did a number of things there, ran away again back to Lusaka. And I joined again my team in Kaunda Square, where now one night I met this prostitute, and she started buying beers for me. Then she told me, let's go home. We went home. So that prostitute was fast asleep. I searched that woman, stole all the money from her, even picked a bunch of potatoes from her house, went with it.
Oh my goodness.
After 2 weeks, I met this lady in the bar where we did a piecework for 100 kwacha, and I wanted to change that money. So the guys gave me the money. You can go and buy those to my small beers so that we can share the change. So unfortunately, when I was entering that bar, because it was crowded, I just touched the same lady. Excuse me. I pushed her this side. So she looked behind, and she
remembered you.
Yeah, she said, hey, you. She started now screaming, Kawalala, Kawalala. And all those people now, they started touching me, grabbing me and saying that, what did he do? He slept me for free. He stole my money. And the boyfriend was there now saying, you slept with my woman. He went to the car and removed the tire. They wanted to burn me.
Ooh.
But by the grace of God, one of the police officers saved me. You know, that's how I said, no, I cannot continue with this life. I called again to the rehab. They took me in the rehab back. I'm a person who has been rehabilitated 4 times because I had that zeal of resilience. And I went to rehab. People would laugh at me. You cannot change. Educated fool, all sorts of names. But I want to thank God that God did it for me. And today, as I'm speaking, I'm an ordained pastor. I'm standing and now sober, able to do things well. My family is happy.
Yes.
Because recently now, I think I've been there for 3 weeks in my compound there, and people, they are just amazed to see a new person who was doing all those rubbish things now. They're even admiring, coming to me, how can we change? How can we be like you now? Yeah, I'm able to preach the word of God, share the gospel, with different people on different platforms like this.
So your life is a testimony, and now you're helping other people to transform.
Yes, my life is a very, very big testimony, because one thing I liked about my life is, and what I learned is, upon hearing Evangelist Branch Shim, I've never abandoned his words or leave him. He inspires me. So wherever he is, I follow him, because I learned something, and I learned that a person is able to bounce back.
Yes.
A person is able to live a normal life again. No matter what the society is thinking about you, no matter how they have looked at you, but with God, you are able to stand again, because redemption and resilience, restoration, I've seen it myself.
Yes. So Auntie Charity, nomba efi mwapitamu, mwali pupuluka, mwali kukosa nomba. Kuti mashiwinshi mwingeba ko omuntu nawo ulepita mufe mwapitamu pantu ilingiri nechimonika kwati abaume eba akwata obubwafyelo nangu abakashana bali abaiche bati mwali abaupwa mwali kwete n'enganda bwino kuti mwalanda shani kubafwirishako bana mayo bambya bali kunsoko na imwe abale umfwensoni bati bali kwata obubwafya.
Ninga wafwirishako ine pantu fyonse nalipitamu nalinu ine myaka ingi 17 years tapayo chisume cho nasangamo. Nasangamo fe chupo okupwa ukuluso muchinsha abantu tabale mpera respect kuipa ya momwana safa ninga wakosereshako pali ino nshitaini nde umfa wino sana abantu barampero muchinshi wengi abale mbona bale kumwa pantu aba mwene findonali tabale shinikisha pali ino nshitoka but chine ndesoko aba futi obana aleno nabo mukwayi balifwa bonse fye tetinson tuluna leno nangwe balifwa ina lisange pusikiro kupita mulilesa era futi atito ningawapera ko nga bale kusambisha nangwa le kupera advice washitako practice ifintu aesha ko fye kuti amanafolesa alengira molesa nankulesa alengira ulesha ko mukosha ko veresa alatolokeramo notukuyirekerera fate ifoni fifini tera ifiyo umuntu ngakweva ti chitako chaso konka ngakukanselinga kwati chitako so nawo aisha komonife fuchava naine mukumfama teachings na counseling naresha kundeisunga naresa atorokera mwansunga pa this time takavechonchura nacho chikwata pawanguva ire narekwata muri rese ndaria bwino ndasunga bwino avana vandiverikiri navana vandi variamba kuchita mami pando avana varefisama ukusonda kuvana wateva mami varefisama umi amwe vanhu amuita te mwana vandu umunangu amwipisa ndina mami vakwa ati avanhu vafana vamami kashininnevo mwamona pando avana vandi vareti nalemonekefiko sharesama shareipika pang'anda no ukuishiwa budget pafyonsa apa painonchita ndapanga budget wino narikarafi so ndekoseresha kwavari kunsoku vana mayo takawave chako sanga wakonga fe wino wasenda na step waingishamona lesa wafyonso fyari vafe wino takawava narosi mkalama fe waro wati ware mposerenshita ngefuna ni ware mposerenshita
mkwaya twatotela. Pastor James, now, when you see people out there that are living the life that you had lived, how does it make you feel, and what advice would you give to them?
When I look at someone who is in addiction and doing all those things I was doing, I feel pain because I know what it is to be an addict. I know what it takes and I know what it is and I know the consequences of being an addict. But I want to tell someone out there that there is still light at the end of the tunnel. It's not the end, and I would like to clarify the point which I've stated that I have been rehabilitated 4 times, relapsed a number of times. It doesn't mean that you should go and relapse a number of times, then God will save you and have mercy. You will go and relapse. Others, I've seen people going to relapse and dying, not coming back. But I want to tell you, someone who has been trying to stop, to live, that you still have that power to change. You can still overcome. And I would want also to urge families, churches, that do not give up on such people. Because such people, they need help from the church. They need help from the community. They need help from the families. Imagine if my father gave up on me, where was I going to be right now? But keep on pushing. Be a person of resilience. Keep on bouncing back. One day God is going to remember you just the way He remembered me. And say no to drugs and alcohol.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so much. So viewers, we've heard the story of our beloved Auntie Charity Kapia and Pastor James Mwatula, who are now recovered and they are living in society and they're helping others out there. So we are encouraging you and telling you that what you're going through, the challenge, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be depression or anything. Don't give up. There is help out there. We have these two who have been through, they've been rehabilitated. You might say, I cannot afford rehabilitation. There are people that can help, that can even counsel you. There are people that can speak to you. Do not give up. It's Beautiful Ashes, where we are telling you that you can rise from the ashes. You can rise from that place, from that dust, and you'll be cleansed, and you'll be clean, and you'll be whole. We have testimonies, and you are the next testimony. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Red dust on my sandals, still I walk in grace. Face to the sunrise, tears drying on my face. Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from